out something new here again. This is a new. This is another little handheld rig. It's got a light. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference in the brightness. I think I need it about right there. I think right there is good, right? All right, cool. So I can do vlogs tonight. Ain't that dope? All right, so check this out. The conflict going on in Israel and Palestine right now, people of color, it ain't none of your business. It ain't none of your fucking business. And I don't want to be, rude or anything like that, but I'm just being realistic. It's none of your business. Um, a lot of people gonna take what I'm getting ready to say as being racist. A couple of people gonna take it however they want to take it, and I see that and I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? But I want to say this and I want to make this clear. I want to make this real clear. I am not in any form any type of racist. I am not in any form any type of bigot. I'm just simply stating what I believe. And I think there's enough evidence. I think there's enough evidence historically, not only historically, but I think this forthright that will prove that or go with that. So make no mistake about it. This is not an attack on Israelis. This is not an attack on Palestinians. This is just a reality check and a talk. Yesterday, well, now the day before yesterday when I was in New York, for the 2 days I was in New York, I watched Palestinian people ride through on trucks in the middle of Times Square with the Palestinian flag riding. I'd never seen that before. So I knew some of these people, they probably lived in the Bronx, they probably lived in Brooklyn. They didn't live in Manhattan. You understand what I'm saying? So it kind of shocked me and I was like, oh, okay. But then I saw they did it again on Saturday night. And I was like, oh, wow, they really doing it, huh? So I started thinking to myself, and I started saying to myself, I said, there's something more going on here. This is a movement of people that have been in conflict for over 60 plus years, vividly in our faces, and longer historically. So you have to say to yourself, and you say, you know what? Do I support this war, whatever the heck is going on? Which is basically about land settlement. Every couple of years they move the settlement more and more and more and more out of the range. And Israeli citizens usually join in as far as occupying these homes, and now they own the homes and they'll rent them or live in them, one of the two. Or extend them to family, or synagogue. I've seen this. I think a lot of the world has seen this happen a couple of times now. And now it's come to the point, and it suffices that now we have video of this. So I watched the video today, okay? And I watched this with my own two eyes, listened to it with my own two ears, excuse me. And it amazed me. In the video, the man's name is Yaakov. Yaakov, okay? Yaakov, I swear to God, that's what his name is. And in the video, Yaakov is seen taking a home from a Palestinian family. And in the video, he says, well, they're hoping, now I want you to understand what they're hoping on. They're hoping on a land decision, right? And this land decision would allow the settlement to extend and be able to be shortened again, that the Palestinians have in the land that they have. And so as a result, Yaakov was saying what's going to happen inevitably anyway is just because of COVID right now and the restrictions that we're not able to go to court. This is an asshole, okay? At his best. Let's sit this down for 2 seconds. I got to do something. Pull up my pants. I look crazy out here. So Yaakov said to himself, let me turn this up so y'all can see me. I love that this thing has got 3 frequent whistle names on it. So say I can turn it up. So I'm just pull my pants up real quick. Yaakov decided that the best thing for him was to go into the people's property and claim it prematurely at that. That's what I want you to understand. Let me just pull my pants up here. I don't like walking around with my pants hanging off my ass or nothing like that. So Yaakov prematurely went and tried to seize the home, okay? Now, a lot of people of color don't know this has nothing to do with you. These people and their way of life have been in conflict for a very long time, and you intervening and advocating for them, I want you to ask yourself this question. When is the last time that you saw somebody from the Palestinian community ride through in the sake and the fortitude of people of color? When is the last time that you saw that an Israeli or a Jewish citizen with a yarmulke has advocated on the behalf and the behest of African Americans? Ask yourself that. And the first thing that it came to my mind was an earlier podcast, and this is why I was speaking about this, because once again I saw women of color coming to the defense of people like Yaakov. I saw the squad, Alexandra Cortez and the other two weirdos. Yeah, I call them weirdos. Both of them are weirdos. One of them is rumored to have married her brother so she could get him and her into this country to become citizens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I call them weirdos. Sure do. I don't support that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's orchestrated falsifying of INS documents for federal crime. I'd rather back a drug dealer. He'd get less time for that same crime. For a different crime. It's still at a federal level, my point. Yes, you are correct. Heavy protests are in Chicago and suburban areas. It looks so crazy. Now, I saw the protest in Chicago, and that just amazed me. That was about 3 days ago, 4 days ago, maybe, I think. And I saw the protests out there, and I was just like, yo, what in the hell? But it was like I was trying to tell you guys, like when I was talking about the Bengali people that are here in Connecticut. These are some racist motherfuckers. But they say they're racist in their own country. But a lot of white Americans, they put on this front and they smile like they're little puppets and pets. And you don't know their real intentions, You don't find that out until they hit the bomb, Not saying it like that, but you know what I mean. I said hit and bomb. Not hit the bomb. Hey, what's going on? Today as well. Hey, everyone. Yeah, man, just talking about why I saw some black women, they once again advocating for situations and issues that don't have nothing to do with people of color. Like I've never seen Palestinians or Israelis speak about anybody else that advocate for any other minority group except for their own. But they found it ever so convenient when they need sympathy, in my opinion, when they need sympathy, they find it ever so convenient to garner the world's interest or sympathy. And that's weird to me, But African Americans, in my opinion, and people in the Caribbean alike, have a way, way higher disdain and a higher recourse and repercussions because of slavery and other things monetarily as a society. The Israeli government is very rich. Very, very rich. Don't you let them fool you. That little small country is worth every bit, worth every penny. Like they said in Django Unchained, worth every penny. Because the U.S. really, to be quite honest with you, the U.S. interests within Israel all went back. And I heard Starr say this too, and I'd already said it before. But the U.S. interest in Israel, whether it's diamond trading and things like that from them or the Turkish, which coincidentally, in reality, if you don't believe me, really come from their intervention in Africa as well. See, when Kanye wrote that song, Diamonds? Well, in that song, Kanye didn't mention one thing, which was this. It's actually the U.S., not Europe just. Europe's involved in it too. But it's actually the U.S. that actually has the biggest play in this whole damn thing. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe me. They'll say, oh, you bullshitting. You know what? I didn't even know this was up here. Yo, let me tell y'all something real quick. I be discovering all parts of the city and shit like that. I'm like, hey, no, this shit was up here. You know what I mean? That's what I love about a city. You can always discover this shit. So I'm sitting there And I'm listening to Kanye song, I'm gonna sit right here, that way the light's not pointing at nobody or no shit like that, blind them and they wreck or something. We have right now people in the culture, I just want to relapse this and re-say this one more time. We have people in the culture right now that are literally saying that their opinions on a country that literally before they never ever spoke about. You understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying here? Like they're literally talking about and having opinions. I've never spoken with Israel before. And I dated an Israeli girl. She was from a fool of Israel. Her name was ID David. I hope you're all right over there, ID. You know what I mean? I met her at the mall. She was selling sea salt products. I think you guys can see me without the light from this. So I'm going to turn this light off. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me all right. I think y'all can see me all right there, right? So, when I talked to ID, she used to tell me about what was going on over there. She wrote my name in Hebrew, invited me to the best of cuisine that was Hebrew, I guess. A good woman. I've dated lots of different women. I've dated a German woman before. I've dated a Turkish woman before. I've dated an Ethiopian woman before. I've dated an Eritrean woman before. I don't know what it is about me. That's what I attract. It's not purposely. I don't have a skin lust. I don't have a fetish for exotic women or nothing like that. That's what I attract. I don't know what's wrong with it. I also attract women from the hood. And when I say women from the hood, I mean hood ass women. I've had women tell me, yo, straight up, boo, I take care of you. Just let me get the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some thug ass women that like I was trying to tell y'all earlier, that are my chicks. My chicks. Let's see what y'all talking about it here. Nope, has nothing to do with our people at all. To stop a hate bill passed, all these other things had to happen, but where's to stop the black hate? I'm glad you said that, Chocolate Divine. Stay right there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not racist or prejudiced, exactly what I said. Okay, Annette, my point, right, Annette? And I'm glad y'all talking about this. This is exactly what I mean. The policies that have been invoked in Israel go back to the 1960s, you know, so, and that settlement itself does too, and they had a war over that. I forgot what the name of the war was. It's something day war they had over that again. And there was another uprising. Even back to the Ayatollah Khomeini and all those times, it was always been a conflict, as I remember growing up to now, with Israel and the Palestinians, you know? And I'm just simply saying, I'm not being a jerk, I'm just simply saying it has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? We have our own issues. I still point out the fact that how quickly they were able to get measures and provisions put in place for, I want to say this right, for Asian Americans, yet and still this is my experience. I walk through, and I don't know who's who half the time. The only ones I can usually point out are Koreans. And the reason I say Koreans, because Koreans are some of the coolest ass fucking people that I've ever met in the Asian culture, period. I always know when I'm running in and talking to a Korean, because Koreans, typically the ones that I met, are not racist at all. They are cool as shit, especially if they're English speakers, even if they're not English speakers heavily. Typically, when I've always ran into Koreans, it's always been a good experience. Like I've stayed at the hostels with Koreans. I've kicked it with Koreans. I had Korean friends growing up. I have two cousins, Oki and Penny, who are half Korean and half black, which are my uncle's kids. Shout out to them. Those are my cousins. So I've never had a problem with Koreans. But the rest of a lot of Asian culture that I've seen is, and this is what I saw this week in New York, and I'm going to say this from my own personal experience, and I'm hearing other people echo this, so I can't be far from wrong, especially in the tri-state and actually in California a lot. That's the other place I hear it. My interaction, whether it just be walking by some Asian people, has been very negative. I've had some dirty looks put at me. I've had motherfuckers do sniffles and stuff, and I can't tell it to whether or not it's me and my persona or whatever, or I can't tell if it's me because of the color. Either way, I doubt very, very highly that you would walk past somebody white like that. What I find is they're very docile when it comes to interaction with whites. And I don't know about you guys, but if you feel the same way, but I've noticed the interaction between African Americans and Latino Americans, it always gets heated. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always want to turn up first. Like, I'm in control. Like, look, hold up, motherfucker. I know you. Look here. Habib, is it? Is it Habib? Habib, is it? Listen, Habib. I know in your country, y'all keep a couple niggas here and there as slaves, and they work for you and make your beds and everything like that. But that ain't the way it roll over here, and it don't roll that way in Europe either. And the black population over there is trying to show you that. You know, you can't come to this country, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. And a lot of white people don't want to sit down and have the conversation because it doesn't affect them. And you have to understand that. It's not because they're racist. They're saying, well, this doesn't affect me. You understand? And that's where a lot of people make the mistake of trying to get a sympathetic ear to listen to the bullshit when it's small potatoes. That's you know, in retrospect, a lot of people look at that. That's a problem you need to cure. That you need to take care of that. Now, JC said that to motherfucking Dave. He said, yo, you need to go handle that. You know what I'm saying? That's what white people basically saying to you. Not in a negative way, but in a real way. Like, you need to go handle that. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people ain't gonna understand what I mean by that. The real G's do. And that's why I need the real G's to stand back the fuck up. Y'all sat down, I don't know why the fuck what, but I need y'all to stand the fuck back up. All right, all this commemorative shit and all this shit. Some of y'all motherfuckers are forcing y'allself to get older before y'all do, because y'all such in the hurry to be older because y'all believe that's gonna make y'all look like some fucking legend or something. And I'm telling you, your fucking actions up to now ain't making you look like fucking legends. Some of y'all look like fucking jokes. Right now, the population needs us. You understand what I'm saying? They need us. I know a lot of people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They say I sound weird. I ain't giving them that hizzle, whizzle, dizzle. You know, what we need to do is a people ass shit. I don't deliver it like that. But the intention is the same, which is to mean this. If you can spend the effort in advocating for Israel, if you can spend the effort for advocating for minimalist possibilities which will happen and unfold other than a look that you think will come from the Jewish community, which I can tell you straight up and down won't come from them. They will not give you a head nod. They will not give you a thank you. They will not say to you, what can we do for you? You know what I mean? They're not going to say any of that. Instead, the effort itself won't even be mentioned. How about that? So if you're sitting there and you're advocating for said on said quote purpose, said on said quote advocacy, and said on said quote group of this one, that one, the other, and the third, you ask yourself this: what have they done for you, and what will they do for you? I'll say that again. What have they done for you, and what will they do for you? I saw black women advocating for fucking Governor Cuomo when he was on the fucking 8th motherfucking accusation. Y'all don't know the governor? Well, I said but yeah, in the tri-state, fuck that. Murphy, all three of them fuck ups. Anyway, Governor Cuomo is the governor of New York City, or New York State. And this motherfucker has been accused of touching all kinds of girls and shit. You know, typical fucking around shit. He's been accused of touching all kinds of girls and shit. And as a result, it made him, you know, kind of dissipate a little bit as far as public opinion. It hadn't gained any more momentum as far as I know. And I don't see anything about him going to court or anything. But I'm going to show y'all clips, and I'm going to put them up, of 4 black women that were sitting there, and they made speeches. They ain't, you know, it's one thing if you show your presence, I mean, that's your support. It's enough. People in the media world know what I'm talking about, the real media world. It's one thing if you show up and you're there just to show your presence, but you're silent. That means I show my support, but if this thing go either or way, you'll never have me on record as a statement of saying I supported it. I was just there. Then there's another way of support where you're there and you make a speech. So these women made speeches. So they were in solidarity of their support, all right? You get what I'm saying here? That's why I wanted to make sure that was adamant in the conversation. If people can come together like we do on YouTube, you could possibly accomplish something, but usually people are against each other, which makes it damn sure does Hey, Cocoa Butter. Miss Chocolate Divine. already, y'all. I love y'all. I really do. I really do. I like y'all ladies. Women, not thoughts. Troublemakers. The banshees of our community. Real thugs know how to do things without getting messy. What I mean by that is a nigga shot up 3 motherfuckers in the motherfucking what's the name, middle of Times Square because he got his ass whooped. And he was trying, from what everybody's telling me, he was trying to shoot his brother. And then some people tell me he got jumped. I don't know which one is the truth. But whatever it was, nigga, if you got up, you was in the safe. Take that ass whoop and go on home, clean yourself up. Now, pop, 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 pop. Oh shit, I shot a kid, nigga. You ain't never getting out. You shot a 4-year-old child. You ain't never coming off of that shit. If you hear this right now, you're running. Run, nigga, they coming. Run. Shit. Nigga crazy, man. 3 motherfuckers shot. They ain't had nothing to do with it. You ain't even shoot the niggas that beat you up. So who are you shooting at? You see what I mean? Real G's know that don't get messy like that. Real G's know don't get messy like that. Take that ass whoop and go home, man. I had my ass whooped before. You know what I'm saying? Who hasn't? If you haven't had your ass whooped, it can happen. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? My problem is I refuse to back down from motherfuckers. Like, I don't know. Like, there was a couple of niggas that put that in me. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Mario. You know what I'm saying? LA. It's my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Larry Foster. His brother, Big Paul Dexter. You know what I'm saying? A couple of niggas put that in me. My crew, you know. Already, I like that, y'all. Show love, that's right. It's a joyous time. That Israeli conflict ain't got nothing to do with us, and I'm tired of motherfucking men and women of color supporting that shit. Like, why are you supporting and advocating? What the fuck it got to do with you? What is the outcome possibly other than your own notoriety that your face was on the motherfucking camera saying whatever you said in support of whatever at the end of it? How does that benefit the culture? Does that show that the culture is empathetic? Who the fuck empathetic of you? That's the question you should be asking while you're running the motherfucker. Man, so what can I do? I'm here to serve. That's why y'all be hearing me do them slave voices, because that's basically what their subconscious is saying. Y'all think I was doing the slave voices to be funny. It was partially to be funny, but it's because the subconscious doesn't know what their mind is actually instituting and delivering via the octave in their voice and what they say. Isn't that weird? I'm looking at these beautiful ass apartments behind me. And when I say beautiful, I mean beautiful. I hope I get into one of those motherfuckers. All these motherfucking apartments down here are beautiful. Like, no matter where I move to, it's gonna be fucking nice. That's why I came back home. Come back to the town. You know what I'm saying? This is home. This is home for me. I haven't seen anybody that's a representative of Connecticut say anything about this that happen to be African American. I haven't heard anything from Candace Owens. If any of y'all don't know, Candace Owens is from the town that I'm in right now, that I live in. You understand what I'm saying? I know y'all have y'all 50-50s or whatever, but Candace Owens literally lived about, 4 minutes? I can walk there about probably 4 minutes if I go up the block. So like 4 minutes, maybe less than that, on Spruce Street. That's where she's from. And Candace Owens, is remarkably one of the voices out there. I don't. It's some shit she says that is pure genius, and it's some shit she says to get attention. And I know why she does it, because that's the type of environment we live in. So I would say to you guys, if any politician, learn how to, know how to decipher the bullshit they say for attention versus the real politics of the issue. I even like something Trump said today, where he came out of the blue and he hasn't said nothing in a while. He says he's in favor of giving a 4th round of stimulus checks. And I think people need that, especially people of color. A lot of people out here bragging and boasting about how they've been getting it during the pandemic, and that's good, that's great. You ain't been getting it like none of these multi-million-dollar fucking companies were getting it. You ain't been getting it like no stockholders been getting it, so shut the fuck up. Nor do you even have a stock portfolio, you minimum wage normal motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people gonna get mad at me for saying that, but I'm talking about the cockiness. They question what I'll say, but they don't question the cockiness was invoked by these people on their own people during the time. Question that shit. You had people during the pandemic, motherfucking financial shaming other people, and at the time you were financial shaming your own people based off the fact that you had a job as a nurse, or you had a job as a motherfucking paramedic, or you was driving a truck, or you was working as the lights of a fucking grocery store. How dare you? That's a high school kid's job, a grocery store? Are you fucking kidding me? So, like, don't give me that fucking bullshit. Even when I was up on top, somebody wrote in the comment, be humble. I was like, even when I was up on top, when I was traveling everywhere, I was never an asshole to people. People question a lot nowadays how somebody reacts, but doesn't question what they were reacting to. And that's a bad lapse in judgment right there. You question, hold on, let me ask you this question. So you question the reaction and you justify, is that how I would have reacted? Or did you question the actual gesture, microaggression or whatever in society? So, microaggressions and all that led to Hamas doing what they did in Israel right now, currently, if you're not up on it. And their saturation of bombs actually put their motherfucking own people at risk, And it's kind of like the antidote and the premise here, shit that your people do put the rest of the people at risk. See, and Hamas had not fired off those motherfucking rockets. Initially, the people of Palestine would not be 39 children dead, and I think the last count was 100 and something. What's the name? Like, the numbers keep tallying up. The picture that you'll see in the screenshot is actually a picture of a building that they hit for the Associated Press, and reportedly Hamas was in there. But it was Associated Press, Al Jazeera, or somebody else. So Israel made a preliminary phone call and let them know, evacuate the building, we're going to bomb. Now, mind you, this is 3 news agencies in here. Now, if y'all not familiar with Associated Press, AP, Associated Press, I learned this in college, them and Reuters provide all the news for all the news agencies, if they're international, especially, and some, national headlines too as well. But most of all news agencies, and this is how they stay in business, buy their news from Reuters or Associated Press. If you don't believe me, a lot of times when you see these news agencies, you'll see them attached to it. So it'll be, NBC, whatever, but there's AP attached to the article as well. That means they bought the article from the Associated Press. You know what I mean? Like, it's an old, very old media secret, but hey, ta-da, you got another one. You know what I mean? I wish that, this is what I wish a lot of times. I wish that the empathy that people had for all these other cultures they have for their own. And that's a sad thing about it. That's one thing I can say, the difference between Black and Latino people. Latino people care about each other. One Latino don't even have to know another Latino and be like, hey, let me help you. And even Africans versus African Americans, Africans will help other Africans. They don't even have to know another African. They'll take them right off the street. In fact, a lot of Africans feel like when they come over here, the African Americans should invite them into their homes. But we know the reality from something that I saw that blew my mind, and I said, wow, finally somebody said it. And it was actually on the African channel that I frequent here on YouTube. And it was a video piece that a woman had put together. And she was showing clips of people in Africa, people at African meetings for Africans, I guess you would call African now Americans in the US, having meetings. And within the meetings, the diatribes and the conversations they were having about African Americans, talking down on them, talking about how they were going to financially supersede them, da 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 da. So this is why I say in Coattail, when I say this whole thing about, you know, this whole Israeli Palestinian thing and how it's none of your business. A lot of these people, to the detriment of the better part, would not care about you financially, whether you succeeded or failed. You understand what I'm saying? So please keep that in mind when you move along, you go along about your motherfucking day. A lot of these people would not want to see you succeed. A lot of these people, if you go into their stores, they would not fully respect you. I mean, even Oprah Winfrey at one time got accused of stealing in Paris at one time, if anybody remembers that. So, you know, nobody's exempt. But advocation and advocacy for, you know, cultural groups that have no known past of having the same advocacy for you is almost idiotic to me. You know, it really is. And for people that are in standing positions, as far as politicians, congressmen, congresswomen that are African American, Latino, in other words, this brown people in general, you know what I'm saying, that ride with African Americans, use the African American vote, use African American advocacy, use the African American momentum to get them where they are, because let's make no mistake about it, everybody implements after that. You know, I have a strong thing, and I tell a lot of Latinos this, and they get mad at me when I say this, but I'll be like, listen, reggaeton is a made-up music. You know, you bought it from soca, reggae, threw black rap over top of it, threw it in Spanish and made it yours. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was Latin freestyle. Latin freestyle was taken off of what Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were doing. And what's the boy's name? Full Force were doing years before that. You know what I'm saying? Jelly B. Martinez really stole that sound, to be quite honest with you. He stole that sound. You know what I mean? And he made it into something that's called Latin freestyle. Y'all might not be old enough to remember. It played in Chicago too. You know what I'm saying? And they made a genre out of it. This is stolen music. The way you dress, a lot of Latinos, it's like black kids. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, I have a problem when people borrow and steal from a culture and don't give the culture no credit. You know what I mean? Like, made Cardi B one of the biggest female rap artists. Meanwhile, y'all just said bye to Nicki and said fuck Nicki's contributions. You know what I mean? Because without Nicki, there would not be no Cardi B, in my opinion. I mean, Cardi was hot, but like, even Cardi, I mean, y'all gotta bow. Like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nicki Minaj. You heard? Queens. Crazy ass motherfuckers out there. Fucking Queens, though. Shout out to my girl Dion. Chris Bells. What up, Chris? We beefing, but we ain't beefing. You know what I'm saying? But she was beefing with me for a minute. On Trinidad. You can't get on Trinidad. Wine. As our Trinidadians say, I don't know why. It's not like Jamaicans. It's like, I don't know why. You can't get. I want to say what I want to deal with, but I want to come back on and want to move out. And you know what I'm saying? I had one of them Trini chicks sitting beside me one day. That shit tripped me the fuck out. I was like, yo, that sound like Chris and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say her real name, but my homegirl got history. Homegirl, you know, they go back to, you know, Fat Cat and all them. You know what I'm saying? Her peoples was involved in that, you know. So she got some history in that. Shout out to Roxanne Shantae too. She down in Georgia. I mean, I said Georgia. I'm in Jersey. A lot of these people don't care about us, and Africans included. Exactly. Everything is on. Go to my statement above. I saw it, right? Oh, factory, man. People people don't even respect you. It doesn't matter how fucking fine dressed you are, any of that shit. You go in there, you go into the stores, and I've been into the stores, you can't tell me shit. I go up and down Fifth Avenue and all those places. Those places are owned by Jewish owners and Chinese owners and African owners and some African American owners too as well. And all of them will treat you foul if they're allowed to, you know. And it's a damn shame that, I don't know about y'all guys, but I'm type of motherfucker, I'll show my ass in the store. I don't give a fuck. I'm going into Harry Winston, never had a fucking problem. I went to Harry Winston, top floor and bottom floor. They said, how you doing, sir? May I show you this, sir? May I show you this, sir? You know what I'm saying? He even wanted to take me another part. I know why he wanted to do it. He just wanted to say, yo, I invited him. But I want to invite that type of looking guy in here. You understand what I'm saying? So I understood it. You know what I mean? Gotta go to some nigga corner store and motherfucker eyeing me up and down like I done stole something in there. And I gotta argue with them like, why you follow me around the store or some shit like that. This is your own people. So I just want that to stick out and let you guys know that this advocacy that you're having for Palestine, Israel, all that shit or whatever, it's faux, man. It's faux. Stop that shit. And whoever in the segment of the population is doing that shit and advocating that shit, stop it. Stop it. They're not advocating for you. They would not advocate for you afterwards, and they have no intentions of doing so. So why sit here and pretend like we care about these people, care about what's going on over there, unless your ass is hopping on the plane and hopping over there your damn self? Simply said, it's that. All right, guys, I might come back on a little bit later, but I'm going to head back in here. I wanted to just talk about that and just talk about, like, how so many people are just getting it messed up nowadays, I think, where I see people advocating for shit that don't even make sense for them to advocate for. I'm like, you know, a lot of people will sit there and talk about this culture, that culture, their problems, and I'm trying to figure out, are you trying to look intelligent, or is that actually how you feel? You know, and I think a lot of them motherfuckers are doing it just to try to seem intelligent. I'm like, you're forcing, like if you gotta force the shit ain't natural. You see what I'm saying? And if the shit ain't natural, then most people ain't gonna rock with it. And that's what I found in my times. Most people ain't gonna rock with it. So it just sounds so unnatural that it just sounds phony. Does that make sense to y'all? Good night, Annette. And good night, guys. Yeah, I'm headed in too. I'm just so tired of seeing motherfuckers jump on the screen for anybody else, but won't jump on the screen for their own. In fact, will jump on the TV screen and denounce their own, talk about their own, make fun of their own, attack their own, and every fucking thing else, but won't motherfucker. You said Israel in trouble. I'll be right over there, boss. What y'all need from me? Fucking amazing. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, something like that. Links are in the description. PayPal, Stringer Bell 80. Thank you guys, all of you that wished me happy birthday this past Friday, And it's a good birthday for the most part. You know, I spent the most of it by myself, but you know what I mean? Fuck that. That's all right. You know what I mean? I'm alive. I'm in a better place. And for y'all that just started rocking with me, I've had some great people. My name is Davin Lewis. I was formerly homeless in New York City and Connecticut. I went through hell. Everything including from rats and roaches and what I perceived to be at one time bed bugs and everything else. Just to kind of get back to what I consider paradise, which is my home right here in Connecticut. So, you know, I don't regret it. You know what I mean? I'm a trooper. Anybody say ain't fucking thing different, you're a fucking pussy. You know what I mean? And half of you couldn't even go through what I went through. You would have gave up. Mama. Mama, I need to come on down there for a couple of days, Mama. Year 3, living with Mama. Year 3, living with Mama. At Mama's house, part 3. You know what I mean? I ain't linking up with mama, and I definitely ain't dumping myself in the house with no woman. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a jerk. You know what I mean? Get your ass to, you know what I'm saying? I move too much for that. And I've always lived by myself, so I've had chicks live with me. My ex lived with me. I ain't live with her, she lived with me. Oh, my crib, my lease, my address, my mailbox, utilities in my name, everything. That was my crib, you know? So, and before that was my crib. You know, I never, except twice in my life, I think, lived with a woman. I lived with my ex, Millie, and I lived with another one. I lived with another chick for like 6 months when I was in transition to move into my next place. That was it. I don't like experiences of living with. When you live with a woman, you ain't doing nothing and shit is slow, especially like with this pandemic, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? They can understand shit. You know what I'm saying? So, factory, yeah, I don't shack up with no chicks like that. You know what I mean? But I don't mind if a woman, you know what I'm saying? I bring a woman through, like I got a good history of taking care of chicks and shit like that. Yeah, oh, word, you like my ex, I ain't gonna put her on blast like that, but she was fucked up. And I said, yo, shorty, don't worry about it, just come stay with me. And she say any other story other than that, she crazy. I moved her right across the street, you know what I'm saying, from the beach. It was just like the scenery is right here. All Connecticut mostly look like this. It's beautiful here, you know what I'm saying? But she lived in the hood. So I moved her up out of the hood and moved her to the suburbs, like literally to the suburbs, where you got 3 miles worth of beach. You go outside, you can go have your coffee on the beach. Just like right here, I can come outside in the morning, have a cigarette, my fucking coffee, look at the water. You know what I mean? Call me what you want to. But, man, I don't know. And I had a couple girls offer me that earlier on. It's like, come stay with me. What up? Nah, shorty, I can't come stay with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm still a man. I sling some D. You know what I'm saying? All the man I am. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me fucked up. Ain't no motherfucking sweet shit going on here. You know what I'm saying? I swing some D, but I ain't trying to move with nobody. You know what I'm saying? For real. Why do Puerto Rican guys, I don't know why they do, they always try to show off in these shitty ass cars that nobody think is hot except for them. I don't know, that's a topic of discussion. I refuse to be used up. Stay single. Keep moving the way you do, Devin. You a good dude. Thank you very much, y'all. For real. You know what? I'm gonna end it at that. But yeah, I ain't doing that. So that's why I be advocating for myself. You know what I mean? All that, whatever. Every fucking body else, they do their thing. Ask for donations. Get on, have donation drives, motherfucker. I mentioned my shit 1-2 times. That nigga can't say that. Fuck that. Cash App. STRINGRBELL80. And if you don't like it, bitch, write it in the comments. I'm trying to come up. Yes, I'm trying to come up so I can help some people because niggas can't even hire motherfuckers. Y'all know how pathetic that looks? Anyway, I'll check y'all later. See y'all in a minute. I might be back tonight. If not, I will see y'all first thing tomorrow. Love y'all.